That takes away 2 iterations of bot lane. Aphelios first picked, expecting Gen.G to prioritize some kind of thresh. And there's the Ziggs Lee Sin insta-lock from Cloud9.
And as easy as it is for us to talk about Perkz versus BDD, Ruler is a core piece of this Gen.G lineup. Him getting Aphelios is massive, but the second we see this Ziggs locked in means that Cloud9 are throwing us a curveball. Zven on the Ziggs. They can play towards the bottom lane, or they can free Vulcan to go anywhere else.
Okay, so we haven't seen live thresh at all at Worlds yet, but he's gone for the Lulu blind pick. How does C9 want to approach this? Do they want to pick up a mid laner here? Like a Syndra, like a Rise? Is that a Yasuo? Is that a Yasuo locked in?
Lee Sin Yasuo, baby! The kick combo into ultimate. What? They're just daring BDD.
I was expecting some kind of Damwon comp in mid jungle, right? Syndra Lee Sin, maybe some Rise Lee Sin, give him some setup, but no, instant level 6 CC and banning out BDD now.
Let me tell you, this is such an ego on BDD. They're gonna pick up the Yasuo here and then ban out his 2 champions and dare him, see what you have next.
And the thing here that's so scary is we've heard it from Gen.G so many times. They are a team that preps well, that plans well. When things come out of the blue in the game, whether it's in the moment decision makings, maybe if it's crazy picks on stage, they do not always respond well. They are not always ready. So the question inevitably is, as these bans start coming through, is BDD ready for this Yasuo?
And that's such a good research that ban there by C9. Yes, you have Xin Zhao on one side, but BDD has been playing Set this year in the LCK, and it is a decent matchup into Yasuo Lee Sin if you build for just armor, plated steel caps first base. So really targeting BDD's champ pool there, but he still has Syndra, and Syndra is a very powerful champion with Xin Zhao. I'm expecting BDD to maybe lean towards that.
Meanwhile, they're looking at support here for Cloud9. It's got to be a playmaker for Zven to pick up for Vulcan here. The Nautilus is kind of a no-brainer. You get your knockup guaranteed on somebody for the Yasuo later. Plus, it can provide those roams if he wants to leave Zven to wave clear on the bottom side with the Ziggs.
Kennen is such a huge pick right now. If C9 can get Kennen and have AP top 80, AP 80 carry, their setup is perfect. But if Gen.G can deny it, what can Fudge counterpick? I feel like C9 are spelling a Kennen last pick here, so Gen.G are going to smartly take it away from them. Does Fudge have another AP champ? Maybe a Gwen might come out.
He could go Jace into it. Jace still up. Very good matchup into Kennen. It would be very heavy AD and only rely on the Ziggs carry, but it can come through.
Yeah, that's my only real worry when you go for matchups like that. I mean, you could go for Camille, right? It does have a lot of true damage inside its kit, so you're not really falling into that as much. But the Kennen denial, very smart pickup there. We'll see if Fudge wants to pick out something like the Gwen.
Aatrox now coming out. At the end of the day, it does make it feel like
Aatrox mid.
Potential Kennen mid or an Aatrox mid. Certainly still have the luxury and the flexibility here, but BDD forced off of comfort. Again, Gen.G creatures of habit. To see them forced onto new picks already in game 1 is going to be a reckoning. If they can do well on these champions, if they can adjust on the fly, it is huge for this series. If they fall down, easy for Cloud9 to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, I think it actually is going to be a swap here. Jarvan instead. Now that can be good into Kennen if you go for the all-in. And I do very much think it's Aatrox mid into Yasuo because it's actually a good matchup into Yasuo. But for the top side, if the Jarvan doesn't get jungle attention, you have to play off your kill threat versus Kennen. And if they don't actually have focus up there, then it falls away as a pick. So you got to think it's going to be default game plan. Leave the Ziggs by himself to wave clear, roam Vulcan up there, support and jungle.
And we saw TL run Jarvan top. We saw Alfari play it into, I believe it was, they were picking into a Kennen. Mad Lions, I believe it was, Armut playing the Kennen. It did work out. They got a lot of early kills, but the Jarvan fell off. The Lee Sin might fall off. C9 are on against the timer.
Well, as Gen.G and Cloud9 load onto the Rift for our last quarterfinal, we're getting the perfect setup to game 1 with the tunes of the North American Burn It All Down remix featuring Denzel Curry. Be sure to check out the song and all the different remixes on the official League of Legends playlist on Spotify. And of course, the tension rises. There's so many questions that are going to be answered in this game 1. Where and how do Gen.G want to play? How will they respond to so many of the wild picks that we are seeing? Ziggs in the bot lanes for Zven. Can Cloud9 make it work? Is it a kill lane? Is Vulcan leaving? I know I've got a million questions, and I'm sure you guys are in the same boat.
Well, I actually know exactly how they're going to play. Not so much questions. I think that this opening draft here is right into Gen.G game plan. They have such good scaling opportunities. They have a lot of good defensive ones. It's going to be Cloud9 the aggressor, Gen.G trying to buy that time. They've got Aphelios Lulu for later and Kennen if they can bring that together for the team fights. However, Cloud9 will accelerate this game. Mid and jungle roaming, playmaking opportunities will be so important for them.
And let's look at the synergy Cloud9's champs have. Yes, the Yasuo Lee Sin is one combo, but Jarvan Ziggs into Aphelios, Lulu, Kennen, 3 immobile champs, no flash. Jarvan ult into Ziggs ult, that's a one-pop, whoever is inside that Jarvan ult. So really good setup to deny the immobile carries of Gen.G, but I'm really scared for C9 if this Aatrox and Aphelios are even 20-25 minutes in. I feel like Gen.G scaling is really heavily favored in this game.
Oftentimes, too, when you're playing against Kennen, and it has been very difficult for so many teams here at Worlds to play against Kennen in the later stages, you need someone to mark the champion. Jarvan is one of the best at marking Kennen because if you find him on the flank, you just ult and then EQ out backwards. And it forces Kennen to either be stuck in the Cataclysm, as we don't have anyone caught here in the level 1, or have to use the flash early. So definitely does have a important job later on in the game as well.
Certainly, and mitigating some of those options if it is a more even game state is going to be key if Cloud9 do want to come out on top against so many of these incredibly powerful team-fighting champions. Similarly, if Ruler and Life get ahead of the clock, maybe in a way that could be unexpected, very hard to just burst him down. Yes, Ziggs Jarvan feels good, but if he's got a shield bow, if he's got a fed Lulu, very hard to take out that champion.
And let me cast your minds back a year ago when G2 faced up against Gen.G. You know what happened in all 3 of those games? Level 1s. They always got a flash, they always got a kill. The level 1s from G2 were really creative. We saw a little glimpse of C9 trying something there. They won't get anything. It's just going to be a ward trade-off. Ward on the Raptors for C9, and then this blue buff warded out for Gen.G.
And it's important where they went for it, right? Because they're trying to get, if you would have been able to get a flash off Kennen early, that just completely changes how you play the lane. You don't get to go so aggressive as Rascal on the top side trying to harass him, and that would just be an easy target for those jungle and mid and support roams we talked about.
And I love how we were talking backstage about Sylas, Rise, Zoe, Azir, Syndra, and it's Aatrox versus Yasuo. C9 had to leash the blue, so all in.
Oh, going in. Easy trade so far, but Life just autoing back. Not too concerned whatsoever. Just takes it on the chin with the Guardian and walks away.
Yeah, Guardian deceptively powerful there for the support combination. Obviously, there with Aphelios being able to start very aggressively in the trade. Vulcan down to
taking a lot of damage here. Vulcan's no tumbling Ignite now going forward. He's going to go flash for the auto. He's ticking. He's burning. Life going to do it. Turning Life into death. First blood for Gen.G.
Yeah, Cloud9's bot lane really disrespecting Gen.G there. They leashed. They didn't have a ward in the bush. Gen.G had bush control. They're double range champs, and C9 have no heal. The second that hook misses and Vulcan can't proc Aftershock, he's dead.
Yeah, super big lapse in judgment there from the Cloud9 bottom lane, from Vulcan himself.
Fudge.
All in.
Drag, auto going forward. Rascal does
He's
have
dead.
flash. He can try to walk away, but easy to flash auto. Follow. Solo kills on both sides of the map.
So much action on both side lanes. Lots of all-ins. And C9 winning out on the top side. Gen.G winning out on the bot side. Solo kill for Fudge.
Yeah, what roams? You know, it doesn't even need any roams. The harassment from the flag here with Airy, with the Doran's ring start, it's something that we mentioned and touched on the last time when we saw Team Liquid do the Jarvan into Kennen response, but they didn't have such a good opening, and since Camera was on bottom side, didn't see the extra health exchange. Here is the movement from Vulcan, though, as they go right in for number 2.
He's trying to push them out of this bush. You see he puts the ward, he's trying to push them out, but the second he misses the hook and he can't get Aftershock, he exhausts, splashes out, Life finishes the kill, so bit of a misstep there from Cloud9's bot lane, but like we just saw on the top side, going in favor of Fudge.
And we were absolutely ready for this game to be all about mid lane. Instead, the side lanes are where we have to look. Fudge finding a solo kill, bot lane finding that 2v2 kill, and it is so big because we know Cloud9 want Vulcan to get out of lane. They want him to roam. Life and Ruler are not letting that happen by finding these early advantages.
One of the other big things in both of those kills was that the wave was actually in a good spot for both of the ones getting those kills, so or receiving them. Rascal teleports right back, Fudge teleports right back, bottom side as well. You get to actually hold on to your teleport from Zven. Zigs just stays down there, relying on the wave clear, has Biscuit, so he can just push out now and still go back. This means that you kind of buy time for openings for possible Vulcan roams around the map. He's going to be very vulnerable, though, because he has to rely only on Hex Flash, and sometimes it can be a liability walking around if you get caught out without your jungler.
Yeah, with top lane no flash, that's where the Kennen is most vulnerable. He won't have that for another 3.5 minutes or so, and the Jarvan level 6 is deadly, so Gen.G need to cover top side soon and start to get top side vision. They already have a vision in the river brush. I think Clid basing now and going to his top respawn should help out Rascal a little bit.
Want to point out the deep ward they took the time to put on Wolves as well, because both junglers starting on the opposite sides of the map means that blue quadrant respawning for both junglers should be opposite sides of the map, and Blaber showing on some of these wards means that Xin heading towards top side to cover and to help that Kennen is going to have priority there, but Cloud9 using the time to take over on bottom side.
And of course, in the meantime, as we wait for some more action in this game, Verizon 5G All Chat. You can share your thoughts, your impressions, anything over on Twitter. Verizon 5G All Chat, the way to do it. Let us know who you think is going to take this game. It's still very early. Anyone's game, absolutely.
Yeah, both junglers just cycling through their second clears now. Blaber on the bot side, Clid on the top side. They're going to keep mirroring each other's pathing, but that ward, like you talked about, Kobe, on the Wolves, should time out, but you can see the ping right there onto Blaber. Gen.G have full information of jungle. C9 should know where Clid is because he didn't show on the top crab. He was on bot crab, so it means he started top side. You'd expect with the early ward on the Raptors too. C9 put a lot of bot side vision here. You can see, I think they'll spot out Clid soon.
Take the time now. Clid's starting to move down, but obviously having that vision on it makes sure that the bot lane can feel relatively comfortable just to sit under this tower and wave clear. Interestingly enough, Ruler, because he does not get the kill, chops by a cold when he retreats, so not able to snowball that early kill lead into anything more than lane pressure at this moment.
So C9, their comp really spikes at 6. Jarvan ult, Lee Sin ult, Yasuo ult, the setup is great on the top side, and Zven has saved his TP in case anything kicks off. So Gen.G will be at a disadvantage at level 6 fights, especially given that Zven has TP, but Gen.G's comp scales very well, so it's on C9 to look for some kind of plays. Both junglers contesting top side crab here, but look at Vulcan. He's first on the play, but he's spotted out on the ward in mid. No, he's not. He actually ran around it, so Clid might face check into the support here. Blaber is showing.
Walks out of the bush. Perkz getting lower and lower. Infernal Chains will not pull him back. They're now going to fight for the crab, but Clid's going to grab that one and run away. Quick flash out, though. Getting that one for free in the end. Trading it for the Scuttle Crab.
A little bit of money earned there, but not a lot of meaningful map advantage. Now you get to transition back to the other side. He will get access to the Xin ultimates pretty quickly here with his level 6, but that flash is another opening for a possible punishment as there's no other escapes for this champion.
Yeah, definitely, especially with Jarvan, Yasuo, Lee Sin on the enemy team. I think play the steel caps will be the aim of the game for Gen.G, and you can see the problem Gen.G have in the early game. If Vulcan runs out of lane towards topside, Life has to match him on a Lulu, which is not ideal. You want to match it on a melee support because it's better in early skirmishes. As I say that, the level 6s have come in. Rascal's flash should be timed, so they should know it's around 30, 45 seconds from now. Maybe they have a window. Blaber gets spotted out, so they should know Fudge is here, and nothing will come of it.
Also looking at the early upgrade for the Berserker Greaves there for Perkz, a lot of possible setup for this Yasuo. If they can gain control of the mid lane, you know, they've just pushed out of River there, so the ward vision around River for Cloud9 can allow him to either go play off those hooks or kicks, or even Jarvan EQs on top side.
Certainly is an option, but of course I think it's good that we're looking now at the bottom side of the map because the support matchup here is something that we need to take into account. You can see duo proximity significantly lower, 14th coming out for Vulcan here, whereas Life spending a lot more time. We're seeing that exemplified here. There may be C9 fighting for this one. Perkz roaming down. Yasuo can get him in the area, but they don't want to take the risk. Happy for now just to settle on the blue buff. Of course, Perkz doesn't need it, so easy for Blaber to pick that up and take the extra experience.
Yeah, the level 6 from C9 is just really scary. All Blaber has to do is ward jump, kick someone. The Yasuo instantly follow on top of a Zigs ult, so no mobility for Gen.G to actually contest that, no vision either, so instead they're going to move towards the top side of the map. Blaber's top side camps are respawning, so maybe Clid wants to look for something there, but Herald spawning. We just saw the kill and assist at 15. Vulcan is first. He needs to be out of the lane, and he needs to be helping his team a lot as Perkz. Goes on to BDD.
Getting caught out there by the first 2 hits of the blade. Definitely make that trade a little bit difficult. Not really a lot of sustain yet for the Yasuo. Blaber in the area, not sure if they fully want to commit for this one. Will we see a kick come out? Blaber for now backing off, Life in the area. Vulcan here as well, but down a level. Both sides just going to walk away.
So much matching so far this game. Just trying to defend all of these possible openings. Yeah. They know it's going to be explosive when it pulls out, but bottom side is the big payment for Gen.G because they've got Zven recalling, and he actually does not use the teleport.
Exactly.
He's saving his teleport for possible Rift Herald play on top side of the map.
Yeah, so the trade-off should be the Herald for those bot plates that Ruler just got, but Perkz just got really chunked out. Maybe Gen.G fancy themselves a fight here.
He committing the ultimate now, hitting the first hit of the blade. Perkz forced to flash away. Third stack now coming out. Blaber on the pursuit. Rascal ready to go for the wall if he needs to, but he's not going to. Lascon takes him out to safety, but Gen.G with control on the top side.
Just like that, BDD will earn the opening for Gen.G to get the first objective. Not much that Cloud9 can do about it now. Flashes burn for both Perkz and Blaber, taking down a lot of the playmaking. Fudge is actually still sniffing around, though.
Looks like C9 are just losing out everywhere on the map. BDD has the mid push. Rascal's first to respond on this Herald, and C9 get pushed out of topside while Ruler is getting plates in bot, so it's only a 400-500 gold lead for Gen.G right now, but they have a lot of gold ready to be used. Clid secures it, Fudge.
But now fully committing. That's the TP going in. Cloud9 want to take this fight. Fudge might be in trouble, but Blaber's on the way. Rascal on the backside, though. This could be disastrous. Zven going to ult, but it's not going to do anything. Fudge going to... They've already taken the Herald. There's no reason for C9 to fight here. Fudge now running. Maybe they've saved Fudge's life, but it doesn't look like it. Winds become lightning, and Fudge goes into the dirt.
They're trying to collapse right now. They use the teleport from Zven, but they can't get anything. Gen.G sweep the map of objectives, and guess what? You see on the mini-map, he's heading right back down to bottom lane. Ruler walking his way towards another minion wave for Aphelios. that turret is already at 2 turret plates as well, going to sustain some damage.
And we wanted to see how Gen.G were going to handle some of these unknown varios, some of these crazier picks, a Yasuo in the mid lane, a Zigs on the bottom side. Ultimately, they have weathered the storm. The level 6 that they were so scared of, they have made it through. Life and Ruler dominating on the bottom side of the map. Ruler getting so many plates. The fact that Gen.G also got that Herald is putting Cloud9 in a 1K deficit that will shoot up to 2K once they are able to drop that.
And this is what we've seen from Gen.G all tournament long. You remember their game against Mad Lions, where Ruler's doing the exact same thing. Carzzy runs top side to help his team with numbers advantage. He farms a bot tower. Gen.G play by the book, but it works.
This game being so calm in the opening is playing right into their hands. They win 4v5 and get the extra teleport. Zven now not having teleport on the Zigs means he has to walk all the way down to this dragon. Cloud9 going to force on the dragon, thereby giving up top push on, to the Kennen, who, Rascal, by the way, does have teleport if he wanted to join.
Is Fudge, yeah, I was going to say, is Fudge going to TP top here just to catch that wave? Looks like you will in the end. The problem now is you're down double TP against Gen.G.
Exactly.
They have all the map control that they want. They have a Herald popped in bot. That's going to be first tower. You know, there's a world where Gen.G can push for a tier 2 here and invest double TP to force it. They don't have to be over-aggressive. They might be a little bit conservative here, but they can do it with Rascal's TP.
Yeah, this team that has Aphelios, Lulu, and Kennen for later for these team fights, getting such an early lead and early map control is going to do a lot for them. Now, after taking bottom side, you can easily transition. Push one more wave for Ruler and Life, then you swap them, push them right up mid lane, and you can keep pressure on these turret plates. There's so much more time left with turret plates that can actually gain money.
Perkz, of course, in the mid lane doing his best to hold on. We take a look, 2K difference as expected. Perkz getting more items under his belt is good, but the steel caps, as you talked about, an easy purchase. BDD getting out of that one.
Vulcan, the dash, the emotes.
Flashes.
I mean, say what you will about BDD's champ pool with not playing the Twisted Fate and only a few games of Rise this year on it. He doesn't have to play what is most highly prized in the meta. The Aatrox here doing so much work for them. Earning that objective, he's the one who started out the health leads that got them the top side play. He's the one that escapes from this flash roam from Vulcan with just the ultimate on Aatrox. Definitely another great showing from him.
Absolutely is. Let's take this moment now and check in on the Verizon 5G all chat. Brian Espinoza. Let's go C9. The faithful shall be rewarded. C9 fans since 2015. Gen.G is going home with the quarterfinals consolation prizes today. Absolute confidence, Mr. Espinoza. I respect that. But that said, right now, they're going to need to find a way out of this hole before they win this best of 5.
They definitely are. I mean, Rascal has TP advantage and he's bots right now, so Gen.G can just play topside. C9, what's your response? They're going to have to try and shut down the Kennen, you'd imagine, but then they're giving up another tower to Ruler's Aphelios, who's been getting so much gold this game. So C9 always have a numbers disadvantage the more they play to the same lane that Gen.G do.
In alignment and along the lines of those tweets, there can be an explosive team fight here in store for Cloud9. The gold lead is definitely slipping away from them, and the item completions are going to be very difficult to deal with, especially the Gale Force on Ruler. The extra mobility there makes it more difficult to catch. But their combination, especially with Blaber's flash back off cooldown, can be undodgeable if he flashes in and gets it.
But the TP situation's really hurting them. Look, Fudge had to move mid, Perkz had to move top to try and shut someone down. If they can get a pick here, they'll unlock the map, but the thing is they're losing on 3 lanes.
Diver.
Kick, Yasuo, not quite in range. They're going to get knocked back. Vulcan, if he can hit the hook, then the ult will go off. That's going to go in. Perkz immediately ults and they're backing away, but Blaber's already going down. BDD and Rascal are in the area. It's going to be a bloodbath. Perkz is a wind wall, can't block that. Locked up by the Infernal Chains. Will manage to make it out. Gen.G descending on C9. They have overcommitted for the play, and Gen.G are happy to punish.
Yeah, C9 get outscaled and they have to force something, but Gen.G have double TP advantage, so yes, you can shift up towards top and commit 4 numbers, but Gen.G can just pull the trigger on double TP and match you with 5.
Caedrel, that only works if you instantly annihilate Ruler, if you instantly followed up with the combo, but there is no follow-up there. He actually gets his ult off, he buys a lot of time, the teleports come in, and they get wiped. Those teleports, when they are an advantage for Gen.G, you can't spare those extra seconds. You have to be surgical.
And the way C9's whole comp works is you have to single out a target. As we see in the Axe replay, Blaber goes in, but the kick is just way too early. Perkz is not on the same screen. He's not in range to follow up with the ultimate. So then Blaber's basically dying for Ruler, but you've invested 4 ultimates to kill him. So now when the double TP comes in, Zven tries to flash away, but Clid's collapsing because they have 3 pushing lanes. Gen.G own the whole map.
You need to also just praise Gen.G for the map movement here. They have been so calm in this early game and just holding on to these defensive answers to the first move from Cloud9. All comes down there and Zven knows. With the opening, just golf claps all around. It's going according to plan there for Gen.G. After that play, Zven knows that there is a plummeting chance here for Cloud9 in game number 1.
Incredibly difficult. Gen.G controlling the game, controlling the pace of the game, even with some hectic topside action and a solo kill for Fudge. Gen.G keep their eye on the prize, keep control of the pace. We talked about the mid game. This is where Gen.G are usually shaky if they don't have a lead, but they do have a lead. Much easier for them now to start this fight as they engage onto Vulcan. Has been marked out. Gen.G for now just pushing in for vision. Cloud9, of course, have playmaking potential. Can fish for maybe this 1v1 as Perkz walks in. A lot of damage initially onto the Kennen. Does. Blade now coming out. Rascal with the ulti, though, just going to find the disengage as the ulti comes in on the backside. Meanwhile, Vulcan just getting picked off. Gen.G now in position to take the second Herald of the game.
Yeah, C9 are trying to get some kind of setup to contest this Herald because, like we've been talking about, tick-tock for C9. These plays aren't going in their favor, but they have to find something eventually. You can see Fudge might even want to try to force this a little bit. Perkz is around, but without the ultimate, I think they're just going to have to back off.
That seems kind of crazy. Yeah, they don't have Ziggs ultimate or Perkz ultimate. And Vulcan in base, that's got to be an objective for Gen.G. They should be able to continue to snowball this map as well. Dragon spawning soon. They can reset off the empowered recall here, trying to bait him towards the brush, but...
Perkz in the area. No ulti for Perkz, though, is going to make this hard. We got fights everywhere. Now they're trying to take down Ruler. Red, white, don't fight, but maybe they can make it work. Ruler healing up from the ultimate, trying to get it down. Blaber will manage to hold on to his life. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, 1 kill for C9. But what will it cost them as Perkz and Fudge are now running for their lives. Clid pushing forward. Herald collapsing topside will break the tower, but Cloud9 take Ruler down.
They're going to try and trade objectives here. They want mid-turret because they've got Ziggs who can execute that turret quickly, and Blaber will take the Dragon. But because of the Rift Herald, you have to answer the topside push. That thing will go down so quickly. It's going to get one shot here. Yep. Herald into 4 members of Gen.G. They will push for 2.
Yeah, C9 get a kill. Well, Gen.G got a kill on Vulcan earlier on. Now they get 2 towers. Top tier 2 is worth so much gold. But C9 have the dragons, right? They have the late game with dragons. Their comp doesn't scale well, but dragons can help them. The problem is, it's a cloud dragon.
It definitely is a problem, but the bonus there for Cloud9 is they're happy to trade in these sorts of situations because they had Ziggs and the capability with the satchel charge to quickly execute that mid-turret. They do get some gold back on top of the kill, plus the turret, plus the dragon.
They've also gotten both dragons, can set themselves up for that out, can set themselves up for that soul win condition, and while Gen.G are firmly in control, a 4K gold advantage, we know Cloud9 are a team that can make comebacks, that can find those big fights in those big moments, and Gen.G notoriously, where they have struggled, is closing out confidently in mid and late game situations.
And that's exactly it, right? When you approach Gen.G in this series as Cloud9, you have 2 options. One, you go what Mad Lions did, and you play control mages, you play slow, and you let Gen.G win the early game, but fail in the mid game, and you outscale them, and you punish them for their overextensions. Or you match them with firepower and early, and outscale them with neutral objectives. Right now, that's the option that C9 have chosen for. They have got 2 dragons themselves, just like we talked about, but the thing is Gen.G are just really far ahead, and they have full map control.
And here's my plan for Gen.G. You wait until Ruler has his flash. Once he has flash, he will be able to carry you no problem versus this. He has been under attack from Cloud9 for the last 5 minutes because of that flash down, and they've gotten some big objectives off of it. But him having that extra mobility, plus the Lulu, plus the exhaust, plus the Gale Force here, should allow him to avoid the kind of collapse scenario for Gen.G, allowing them to more cautiously play this map. And guess what? When you have White Gun and you're playing into this heavy melee dive sort of composition, if they can't one-shot you, you do so much.
Rascal locked out. They are going to get the ultimate out. Goes back through with the Protobelt, now trying to leap out to safety, but does get taken down. Blaber again clean. Another shutdown in favor of C9.
Critical pick in the mid-game where Cloud9 know that they have to take some more risky movements.
I think Clid is hovering around to maybe look. So I thought BDD's TP was coming up in 2 seconds. I thought Clid was just hovering around to maybe collapse on them, but it looks like C9 is going to back off. But like you said, Kobe, huge pick for C9. They need to make picks. They need to get Gen.G's flashes 1 by 1 or kill them 1 by 1, and that's how they unlock the map.
You know, I think that reaction actually illustrates what BDD was kind of talking about in his interview with Ashley, where he was talking about sometimes they do berate themselves for not taking those split-second decisions when you see the opening and jumping on an opportunity like that, whereas Cloud9 always jump on it, for better or worse, sometimes, sometimes good, sometimes not so good.
And you need to be able to spot out those opportunities. You need to know in that moment when it comes to aggressive playmaking, this is the fight we're going to take and we need to take it now. If you are too slow, if you hesitate on the TPs, if you hesitate at all, a fight and an opportunity can slip away from you. In Cloud9, sometimes they take too many opportunities, as you've highlighted, but often better to take a few too many than take a few too few.
And that's something both of these teams need to clean up moving forward in the tournament. You face EDG, you face a T1 or a Damwon, making those mistakes and failing those split-second decisions. decisions can be fatal.
I will say, from the position of Gen.G though, looks pretty good, and you can't really fault them for being a little cautious in this scenario where they have such a big lead, and every one of their counters has worked out. They want to save the extra resources. Now though, Cloud9 have double teleport, and that possibility, Drakos, is definitely there. 1 minute and 40 seconds left on Dragon number 3. That is the one big kind of comeback avenue that Cloud9 have open to them at this moment. Gets very scary though, because this Kennen, this pivotal Kennen, flash coming up here for Rascal, and just bought the stopwatch. That thing can be devastating in a lot of these scenarios. Again, so many melee champs on the side of Cloud9. When you group up, when you take that Yasuo ultimate in, you are then vulnerable to a lot of the AoE.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people think of Peel as defensive tools, right? Life can buff up Ruler, he can give him shield, speed, and health, but aggressive Peel is always good as well. If this Xin Zhao and Kennen are diving onto Zven and he has forced to run away and he can't really follow up, or they're diving onto Perkz, then you buy more time for Ruler. Gen.G actually starting up Baron here. They have got Aphelios, so will go down quite quickly, but C9 should be in the area to respond.
Wanted aggressive decisions coming out from Gen.G. This is certainly one of them. A little bit high risk. Are they going to commit to it? They certainly can shred it down with ease. I'm going to walk away. Ziggs ult now gone. Lee Sin always has to be respected here. Gen.G will back away. C9 spotting that one out is big.
Ziggs strikes fear into the heart of every jungler, Caedrel, when you're starting up Baron, and true here for Gen.G. So risk avoidance here, not going to continue on with that one, just pulling them across the map. That, though, is one of those openings, some more time here for Cloud9 to try and farm Gen.G, not necessarily pushing their lead to any sort of degree.
And look what C9 are doing. They're actually ignoring Dragon. All of Gen.G are now running from base straight to the Drake. C9 have stayed on the map. They're running straight to top, so they're trading gold for objectives here. So this Cloud Soul we talked about, if C9 skip this, it'll be around 10 minutes before they can start to contest it. So they want to trade for tier 1s.
I love this for two reasons, because if you give the Cloud Dragon, you also cycle the Soul. You will force Mountain by cycling Soul, giving Cloud Omega Galaxy Brain here. You trade up in gold, and you can get a better Soul.
True. Certainly an option. Of course, at this point, we have the Cloud Rift. Will come through, third Drake of the game. So in this case, Gen.G going to grab their first one.
Yep, that's going to be Gen.G's first Cloud Drake. 3 more still, though, so it's 15 minutes until Gen.G can even...
I'm trolling.
Yo, I was wondering, Kobe, what are you talking about?
I was like, cycle! Oh, okay.
Mountain? I was like, where?
I was like, we're going down in the ship, Kobe. You know, it was a little old man yells at clouds in this case, I guess, kind of literally, but, you know.
I was like, get out of there, Cloud, get out of there.
Well, no, they just want to slow the pace of the game down and get some more gold for themselves. Their whole comp revolves around gold, and they're just trading the objectives for gold. They're only around 2 to 3k gold down now, but the spikes are slowly starting to come in. 1, 2 items being built for C9, QSS, 4 perks to stop the polymorph from life and the stun from Rascal, you imagine. But Gen.G just want to control the top side of the map for these next 5 minutes.
And we talked about it earlier in the game, and I think we have to hit it again. For Cloud9, it is hard to team fight against an Aatrox, against a Kennen, against Ruler, who's going to be sitting potentially unthreatened in the backline if you cannot immediately blow him up. But there are avenues. When you have a Jarvan and a Ziggs together, when you have this Lee Sin plus Yasuo combo, you certainly have the potential to blow Ruler up or another key member at the start of the fight and leave no avenue for response on the side of Gen.G. So eyes on execution, eyes on the setup and the vision here. For now, we see Gen.G very much controlling the top side of the map, controlling the area around the pit, but C9 trying to get mid-prio so they can take some of that back.
How cool would that be, though, if you could opt into cycling like that? And it would rotate.
Just keep recycling Drakes until you get the one you want.
You're like, I don't like this roll.
There's like a coin. You can like refresh the Drake. You go and you donate 50 gold. It just swaps.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right, Cloud9 then. With the outer turret gold, see what they can actually do with it. Some completions coming in. The QSS, the Sterix, both going to be very big for these possibilities.
There's a TP ward behind Perkz that's being pinged by BDD, I think. They were pinging it and looking for some kind of thing. But the reason this game is slowing down is because Zven has good wave. Hang on a second.
Comes landing, Blaber gonna walk away.
I was just gonna say, the reason this game is kind of slowed down a bit is Gen.G want to find a setup to get this Baron, but C9 have really good wave clear in the Ziggs. Zven can just one-pop the wave, so Gen.G can't threaten anything. But then Gen.G is fine waiting for Ruler to get more and more items, so it's like a standoff right now until Drake spawns, you imagine.
They're walking up, and hey, right as you call it, there it is. The wave now deleted. Clid now going to be in trouble. Immediately going to use the ultimate. Yasuo waiting, trying to buy time on the ultimate, but Ruler is so damn strong. Fudge in the backline, though. Flying drag instantly into it. Perkz on the Yasuo. That's 1 for him, 1 for Fudge. Now Gen.G going to be in trouble. Rascal, BDD life. All eyes on the Kennen ultimate. Rascal in the re-engage can be big here. It can't be the difference maker, but Perkz is still standing strong. C9 standing strong. BDD in the midst of everybody. Rascal biding his time. Oh, Fudge! Waiting for the opportunity, but Fudge is popping off. Rascal can't even push. Oh, this is massive for C9.
That's an ace! They did it! They brought the team fight together! The Cloud9 hope is still alive 25 minutes into the game, and Baron will be theirs!
Yeah, and I thought C9 would slow it down and wait for the dragon, get a good setup, and maybe punish a face check, but Vulcan just flash hooks Clid, and now all of a sudden Cloud9 get 5 kills. They're getting themselves a Baron. This comp that's on a timer is now ahead.
And this Zigs with a Yasuo wind wall is eating turrets. This gold lead is going to grow for Cloud9.
Those opportunities, the split-second decisions that we highlight for them, jumping in onto Clid, and even though Blaber goes down, the teleport for Fudge, they know this is their chance, this is their opening right onto Ruler.
The biggest mistake there you have to argue for Gen.G is first of all Clid disrespecting the flash hook, and second of all Life uses the wild growth onto Clid to keeping up, so when C9 commit onto Ruler, there's no real peel from Life. BDD split up, Rascal finally arrives, and then it's just a 5v3, 4v3. They just have to make sure they can land the spells, and Fudge.
Oh my goodness.
Fudge is the man of the fight.
Fudge absolutely is, and on the side of Rascal, waited too long, did not have the confidence to pull the trigger in that moment with Flash, with Kennen ult. He could not save that fight.
I love the Zven reactions, either in the big play or in the losing plays. You put faith in the knockups, and this is Cloud9, the team that originally brought you the Yasuo plus Gragas combinations way back in the day. They've got knockups to spare, even with Blaber down. Fudge finding so many of them. Perkz there as well into the backline, following it up.
Yeah, and we saw in the teaser before this game, this will be an endurance series. This is all about endurance. And when you've got the most internationally successful North American team alongside possibly the greatest Western player of all time, endurance is their comfort zone.
Perkz, a man who has made miraculous comebacks, Game 5 versus RNG, his entire track record on G2, now on Cloud9 against Gen.G, determined to head to his next World semifinal. Has not missed it since 2018. Wants to make good on it now. For Gen.G, they have to weather the storm. They have to find a way back into the game, because the fact that they were winning, the fact that they built a massive lead and Cloud9 still took that Baron and took that fight for them is bad news for them if they let this one get away.
Yeah, Gen.G still have good scaling though. The Aphelios Lulu will do a lot of damage in fights if Lulu can get uptime. Last time around in the fight, C9 was able to one-shot him before he could start to find any damage, so C9 have to be careful. If Ruler has uptime and can hit onto Fudge and Blaber, he will shred them down when he gets his third item. We'll have the Infinity Edge.
For now, though, Cloud9 turning their attention back to their third dragon of the game, setting themselves up for Soul Point. Gen.G for now just going to be happy to fight for mid-priority. Look to take down that T1 potentially, but Zven has ult, and they have no Baron buff, so should be easy to just delete the wave and deny that objective.
Gen.G's mid-game kind of faltering a bit. Rascal, a lot of indecisiveness, especially in that last fight, as you highlighted. Had ult and flash, but he didn't find the angle. Now he's on the side, looking for Zven perhaps, but Zven has flash. Gen.G need to make sure they set up vision control and make Cloud9 walk into them so Rascal can find the right angle.
Yeah, I mean, the problem for Gen.G is that Cloud9 were so surgical, and they immediately knew what to do off of the win for that team fight. You get your Baron, you Baron-empowered recall, you take over bottom side, because bottom inhibitor is always the most valuable. It's furthest away from Baron when number 2 spawns. You can draw them across the map, but also because you leave all that vision through red quadrant of the jungle leading up to the dragon, allowing Blaber to easily pick that Cloud Dragon up, setting themselves up for the possible soul there in 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, but big item picked up by Ruler now. Has the Infinity Edge. 3-item Aphelios with summoners up. C9 need to be very, very careful. But they do have 3 stopwatches, so a lot of time that they can buy if Rascal does find the right angle for now. Sieging onto this top tier 2.
Hook goes a little bit wide here. Vulcan has a proc. Epicsshot Getty is very squishy. Will go golden with the use of the stopwatch. Perkz now backing off. Wind wall to prevent the re-engagement. Vulcan now caught out. Exhaust does go down. The Vulcan Perkz now goes in. That's the Kennen ult. Essentially useless, but Ruler is not. That is the damage. Now stepping forward, spinning with all of his might. Man, he does so much damage in this exchange. Fudge walking away, Cloud9 holding on, but Gen.G fighting back.
Big escape there from Fudge at the end. Cloud9 get out with just 2 casualties there. It was such a big engage there for Gen.G. I like them actually forcing the issue here, and this is one of the times where they take it into their own hands, because they know if they take the focus off of Ruler, they allow Ruler to hit. You mentioned Caedrel, 3-item power spike for here. He did so much damage, chasing down, Perkz on the outset there. Vulcan does go down early and stopwatch blown.
Yeah, and he wasn't even there for the start of it. I love the aggression coming out from Clid. He just EQs onto Vulcan no matter what, ults them away, and just forces the fight despite being 3v5. He knows when Vulcan made a mistake, and he punishes it straight away. Clid, massive props in this fight.
And then you see the response there. So as soon as he flashes in and he gets a charge in plus Lulu ultimate and stopwatch goes down, immediately you have them running up the lane. Rascal uses ultimate for Kennen ultimate there. With the exhaust down though, Cloud9 try and turn, but when Ruler gets there, Oh my goodness, so much damage. Once he arrives, you cannot afford to stay in. They have to run, and they scatter. Good ultimate there from Fudge to EQ over to the Blast Cone, though, and live.
And the way both these comps work is they want to run forwards. The second either of these comps is running backwards, they've already lost the fight. Jarvan, Lee Sin, Yasuo have to go in, and Aphelios wants to be able to walk up with Kennen and start the damage. So whoever finds the first engage, it feels like if they can single out one target, they should be able to push forwards. Perkz with the wind wall, Ruler with the peel from life.
Another thing to look at here, Fudge has actually gained so much experience by side laning there. He's 17 in this game now. 2 levels over both solo laners from Gen.G. This Jarvan is very good at marking the Kennen. He's got a stopwatch for himself. He can go to the side lanes, use the ultimate, try and keep him out. Even with all these summoner spells available, burning them is very big.
Yeah, he has gotten a lot of XP. Level 17, but Rascal just hit level 16 on Kennen and he's basing. Does he have a Void Staff? That's a 3-item Kennen with flash up. And C9 have to be very careful about that. We've seen what a Kennen can do. We saw what Khan could do yesterday.
So much attention to detail is necessary here. Those wards that they're just pinging now in their jungle behind them have to be swept out. Everybody going on the scavenger hunt right now. Find any flank ward. You cannot afford for Rascal to be behind you.
And in a game that's all about execution, it does come down to a single ward. It can come down to a single moment, a single decision. Gen.G, they failed those checks once or twice. Will they have the confidence to force a fight when it comes time? Cloud9 have found that confidence across this game. And again, I think we have to give praise to Fudge. Found a solo kill in lane, was clutch in the mid lane team fight that turned the game. We expect it to be all about Perkz versus BDD, but Fudge has been showing up in this game 1.
Yeah, it's astonishing growth the whole year long for such a young player with veterans around him like Perkz and Zven. But I think C9 are in a little bit of a driver's seat right here. They have the push in mid and they have control around the Baron. 1 minute's time, they have a Cloud Soul available to them. So that will last for the entire game, and having that on things like Yasuo and Zigs can really help in terms of gap closing with the immobile carriers of Gen.G. We'll see how they opt into it, because maybe Fudge can solo it while C9 start a Baron and Gen.G have to make a decision.
This next fight is so pivotal, and every player in this game knows it. Look at the inventories, all of the stopwatches, these consumables for one fight opportunity being purchased up.
Stopwatches on C9.
They're all over the place. 4 on Cloud9, also 2 on Gen.G to be able to pick this up.
So there's 8 stopwatches in the next fight. Perkz has a QSS as well. Fudge can push in bot with TP and he can threaten the Dragon start if Gen.G move topside.
Flash ult for Rascal, a terrifying thing, but as long as Vulcan's in the area, his exhaust is ready. They've cut out Clid, they're immediately gonna go for the kick. Yasuo ulti, wind wall to stop any potential follow-up. Ruler out in no man's land, way too far away to help, but all it's gonna get them is Clid's flash in the end. Gen.G still trying to push in mid lane, trying to hold on to control.
Yeah, those ultimates have such big value for Cloud9. This actually, even though Flash is a longer cooldown, gives the opening for Gen.G to decide to move into the river, and Rascal has found his flank.
Gen.G have to be very careful here. Yes, they have the upper hand because Blaber doesn't have ult, but they still have a lot of knockups. Fudge's combo, Vulcan's ult.
Fudge now committing. Rascal on the flank, has not been spotted, ready to go in. Where's the ulti gonna go? Rascal hesitating, they're taking their time, they're backing away. C9 pull out. They know they have to respect the Kennen, they do not overcommit.
Everyone is hesitating in this fight. Clid could have been a one-shot there if Perkz decided to commit, but then you're committing into Ruler and Rascal could have found an angle. Everyone is unsure when they want to pull the trigger.
Perkz.
C9 pushing, oh!
Going forward, Perkz just looking for the 1v1, the exhaust already going out. Perkz now running for his life, dashing, trying to go back, but Ruler will not let it happen. He protects his jungler.
Can C9 burst the Dragon down though? They might get a soul out of it. Yes, Perkz has died. They're probably going to lose a Baron too, but that's going to be sold for C9.
And absolutely Perkz there. Unrefined aggression, the story of C9. Unrefined defensive play, the story of Gen.G. But in that moment, Ruler stands supreme, a world champion above an MSI champion as they look towards the Baron.
Unrefined, I like that. Meanwhile, Gen.G will make their transition. 30 seconds left on the death timer from Perkz. Blaber has flash, he has Lee Sin, he has a blast cone.
They could steal this. They have burst as well with Zigs. Gen.G need to zone away Blaber, otherwise this is a 50-50. Fudge is on the side. Perkz doesn't have TP though.
We're die moments. Zven poking.
Blaber.
Shock from Blaber in the midst of the pit, but he will not get it. Clid manages to secure a BDD off the side to make sure Gen.G can walk away, and Gen.G walk away with the Baron.
Nice try there from Blaber. Tries to kick Clid away and then steal the Nash. We've seen Canyon do that as well with the Lee Sin. So, Perkz dies, Gen.G get a Baron, C9 have a soul. Yes, Gen.G got the mid-tier 1, but C9 still have good wave clear, but this Aphelios is getting scarier and scarier. 4 items with a buffed up Lulu. As we see this one again, Blaber looks for the kick onto Clid.
Who says Gen.G is risk averse? They're willing to flip it here versus Blaber versus Cloud9, and it is close. Kicks him away, but just as he's flying out of range, Clid ultimate into Smite, able to get it.
In this game 1, is delivering. Gen.G's early game, as promised, finding advantages. C9 scrappy in the mid game to find a way back in, and now it is neck and neck. It is Baron buff versus a Cloud Soul. It is a 2K gold advantage that means nothing at 35 minutes. All that matters now is the execution in the fights and what Gen.G can do with this Baron buff.
The thing is, Gen.G have Baron, but they don't have great siege. The only real objective they could look for is a bot tier 2 if they push in mid and move into that. But C9 have decent wave clear, they have decent way to defend, so Gen.G need to find a way to just retake map control, force C9 out of one side of their jungle, whether it's top side or bot side, and then allow BDD to move around the map, because yes, they have Baron, but what can they really get with it?
Yeah, big thing for Gen.G is actually trying to create space here. Any way they can create some more space for themselves is going to be to their huge benefit. Ruler now level 17. Meanwhile, Cloud9 burst damage. All about that burst damage in the CC chain.
Yeah, and the thing is, if Ruler walks up to hit a tower, he has to be scared of so many different things. If he has no vision on Fudge, if Blaber's on the side, they need to wait for BDD to push in top, move towards mid, and then Gen.G can start playing for this bot tier 2.
Exactly. He cannot afford to use any of these cooldowns early.
BDD off to the side. Gen.G pushing in the bottom side. Baron empowered minions are strong, but the Ziggs ult still going to do a lot of work there. Fudge going to try to make sure to delete as many as he can as Clid pushes in the mid wave, using Baron buff across 3 lanes now. Gen.G doing their best to split C9 up.
Looks like they'll get the tier 2 in the end, and that will be that. 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the Elder Dragon. Both teams just taking their time, waiting for spikes. Rascal close to Rabadons, you imagine. Zven, very similar story. GA's being picked up from Clid. All the defensive items still coming in. C9 still have 4 stopwatches. Gen.G have a GA and 3 of them. Lots of peel here from both teams.
Game 1, the tone center for what's to come in the rest of this series. Gen.G, can they find it? Are they strong enough in the late game? Can they keep their composure to close this out? Perkz now getting aggressive here, does not hesitate, immediately going to follow up with the ultimate. That's a Ziggs ult from downtown. BDD buying as much time as possible. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Gen.G collapsing. Still, though, the Aatrox running. It's all 80 damage. He's got steel caps. He's surviving as long as he can.
BDD?
Third Q doing big damage. He's holding on forever. That's finally a shutdown. But what is it going to cost C9? Ruler's pushing into the base.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking for a bot tier 3 there, but BDD's dead. No TP for 60 seconds. Fudge going in. Looks for an angle, but Perkz is too far. Zven.
Rascal low, but he still has the flash. He still has the ultimate. Vulcan has the exhaust. Rascal now going for it. He's flashing in. Zven goes golden, but he's still going to get taken down there. Ruler off to the backside, completely untouched. The Aphelios free hitting across the entire C9 lineup of Perkz. Now coming in. Maybe they can extend the play. Maybe C9 can get something else, but they opt not to continue the fight.
That was so big for Gen.G. Getting Zven's flash out there was just scaring him at the inhibitor. That's the go button for Rascal. They all in. They get the inhibitor. Even in knowing that they have lost their mid laner, Perkz so far away that they actually can force it.
They have a blue orb on Ruler, so they're going to cancel his base. They won't really get anything for it. 2 minutes on Elder. Unless they want to chase him down, it's only Fudge and Perkz. Maybe they're just trying to buy time here. And I think, like you said, Zven losing flash, maybe instead of going for Rabadons now, he has to pivot and go for his Zhonya's, because in 1 minute 40 seconds, there's an Elder Dragon on the map. Gen.G invested 3 flashes on their top side to do so, but Ruler still has both sums up, and Ruler is probably very close to a GA. Yeah, I think he has it in base.
30 seconds between the major objectives, Baron and Elder Dragon. You win one fight, you're very likely to win the other. Could be the death sentence. And after such a back and forth early game, Gen.G finding lead, C9 finding a way back into this game, it may come down to one final fight. Cloud9 is highlighted earlier. Mark Rascal, mark the Kennen, find him, do not let him into your backline, and absolutely, certainly, you must kill Ruler, or it will fall apart. Gen.G, it's simple. Don't let them do that.
That's a 6-item Aphelios, though.
I love that. I love
Don't
that.
let him do it. Just stop them.
Easy strategy. Don't let them do that.
They have so much peel. Ruler has a GA, 6 items. Life has 2 items completed as well, so he'll be buffing up quite a lot. 55 seconds on that Dragon. Eyes on Perkz, eyes on Ruler. See if Perkz can connect onto him.
Oh, it's tense. Every cooldown you have to be nervous. A single flash, a single ultimate burned early, a QSS, an exhaust could cost you a team fight. Vulcan's exhaust still down. Rascal with no flash, but if he finds access to the back line, he will do massive, massive damage. Horizon focus completed now as well. A lot of tension. The armor coming in from the side of BDD feeling good. Zven, the only big threat that he has not itemized against. He is very tanky and he will hurt. Cloud9's all AD topside, solid at a lot of stages of this game, but might cost them at some points later in these fights.
There's the Rabadons for Zven, though. He didn't go for the Zhonya's. It's a very immobile Ziggs and very vulnerable, but he does a lot of damage. If C9 can find the right target, they can burst them down. This Dragon spawning in 10 seconds. Gen.G trying to push C9 back, who of course still have this Cloud Soul.
Flank so important here. Fudge, you can see, trying to hover around here in the fog of war, but Gen.G move in as 5.
Perkz has to be careful here. You can't show on that bot wave. Gen.G have full control of this bot side jungle.
That's why they're keeping vision here. Blaber and Fudge trailing.
Elder, 7K,
That
getting
burns
lower.
That's dead!
That's going to get burned down. They're just going to shut down Zigs downtown! No! The smite secured. Clid standing strong, 2 for 2 on major objectives, but with that one, you have to feel like the Baron is going to follow. Cloud9, they didn't find the fight that they wanted. They will not find the 5v5 because Gen.G, with that buff, are now looking to take Baron uncontested.
Slow and controlled calm from Gen.G pays off again. That smite finger from Clid has been critical for them. 700 health left on that one. Incredibly close ultimate there from Zven. The Hail Mary attempt, but Gen.G will get both Uber buffs. Bottom inhibitor already down too, so they can easily push on top side with these. Cloud9 gonna be in a very difficult situation here, trying to decide if they even wanted to push out one more wave. They're gonna have to give so much of the base.
Yeah, BDD's gonna base, pick up an item, TP straight back. There's the Black Cleaver. Gen.G just have to force. Can C9 hold against this buffed up Gen.G squad?
So incredibly difficult. Zven, of course, has the range advantage, but everyone else needs to leap into melee range into an Aphelios that is fully stacked. VDD completely unafraid as Clid just continues to step forward, but Cloud9 doing their best to lead the wave. Recalling here while they have the advantage, are going to go for the kick. Will connect on a few members. Gen.G debating really what they want to do. Rascal's already out of the area, taking their time on this recall.
Yeah, Rascal bases and goes to mid wave. They know they have top inhib, they have bot inhib. Gen.G don't want to force any kind of Nexus tower dives or anything like this. They're just going to push in mid and try to take down that last inhibitor. Rascal bases has TP in case anything kicks off, and now Gen.G are just going to run it down.
40-minute slugfest. Now a 6K lead for Gen.G, not nearly as consequential as the 2 minutes remaining on the Baron, the minute remaining on the Elder Drake, but Cloud9 holding on, doing what they can to play PvE for as long as possible, trying to run out these buffs. Even Zven's ultimate is not going to be enough in the face of the Baron as Ruler just steps forward completely unafraid. You've heard of 200 years of Aphelios, it's feeling like 400 years of Aphelios with all the buffs this man has. Have to respect Ruler. Cloud9, this is it. It's do or die. Find a fight or lose the game.
35 seconds left on this Elder, though, and Gen.G, they could just press it. All you have to do, wait for super minions to come in, buff them up as they arrive.
Full court press. 3 inhibitors down. So much pressure.
Has to be this wave. It has to be this bot wave. Gen.G have to force. 20 seconds left.
Ruler still standing with the Infernum, landing a bit of poke. Now they're going to go in. Clid in the midst of the entire team. Ruler eyes on the prize, though. Blaber trying to isolate it, kick him out of the fight. He's been polymorphed, and now he's going to get taken down. That's the Elder Dragon buff. Perkz running for his life. Gen.G are running Cloud9 down in their own base. They took the Elder, they took the Baron, and they will take game 1 in this series.
And that's Gen.G's first win in an international best of 5. They dropped the ball, they got aced, they gave C9 a Baron, but they found a way back into it.
Calm and collected for Gen.G, especially big gold star there for Clid, landing those smites, the one on Baron critical for them. Damage comes through, they finish it off. Cloud9, giving a lot in the early game and the openings there. They were able to pounce to try and make it interesting, come back in the mid game and try and force it here with the combos, but not enough for Gen.G.
And I think it would have been massive for Cloud9 in this series if they had turned around a game after what was such a Gen.G favored early game, brought it back, out-executed in those fights, but Gen.G holding strong is so massive as we move later in this series because it means Cloud9 heading this game 2 are going to be the team that have to adapt their strategy. That said, you can check out Cloud9's team pick as a song that represents their playstyle, Thunderstruck by